Jump into something, John, and I'm going
Okay.
to let you talk about this. Palm Beach politics. Boca Raton's "No Weapons Allowed" sign under fire from libertarians. John, take us away.
Okay. Well, under Florida state statute, there when you if you have a concealed weapons permit, you can go anywhere in state property. There's a finite list of places where you are not allowed to carry your concealed weapon. One of those is a city hall, but the caveat is that city council must be in session. Well, uh, over the last couple of years, the gun rights activists have been making their stand. They've gotten no firearm signs removed from places like city parks, county parks, and from the tri-rail. Well, with this effort from the tri-rail, we took it a step further and we said, well, that also has to apply to the city of Boca. And City of Boca at City Hall had a sign posted there that says, "No weapons allowed. All persons and articles entering this building are subject to search." The problem with not having with saying that weapons aren't allowed when they are, and then putting people subject to search is, of course, that here in the state of Florida, well, you are allowed to carry a weapon concealed. You are not allowed to carry a weapon openly unless you happen to be on the way to a hunting or a fishing trip.
Well, we're
So,
working on that open carry. We're working
yes,
on
we
that.
are. Yes, we are. So, but the idea is that, so then if they search you and your weapon then becomes unconcealed, you are technically violating the law. And, because you're allowed to carry one in the first place, it's against the law for them to have a sign that says you're not allowed to have it.
And now
You know,
that throws into a gray area. Like you said, you've got a permit to carry a concealed weapon, and it's under your jacket, one of the arm holsters, or you've got a hip holster, one of the intucks,
or a
and
fanny pack.
or a fanny pack, and you're reaching for something or you're moving, and someone sees it. It becomes open for just a moment. That puts you technically in violation, and that's that gray area, and that's why you've got to go with open. You got to be allowed to open carry. You have to. If I can conceal carry, why can't I open carry?
Right.
What's the big argument against it?
Right. It's a pretty ridiculous thing, and especially if someone's got a permit, if someone has taken the effort and energy to get a permit, and gone through the background check, taken the safety courses, the chances that this person is a lunatic or is a danger to the public are pretty low, and history kind of bears that out. Whenever you have these people who go and they shoot places up, they're not permit holders, and the issues of violence conducted by people who are not permit owners compared to the ones who are is a huge number. It's something that's so crazy that they won't even look to keep accurate statistics on these kinds of things, because it would only embolden our cause that people should be allowed to carry in whatever fashion they want, for their own defense.
And one of the things, like we were talking about here with this sign down there in Boca Raton that says, "No weapons allowed." And I've got the signs actually up on the screen here, and I'm just going to zoom in on that real quick. There's the sign for you. It says, no weapons allowed. All persons and articles entering this building are subject to search." All right. So they've got that down there, and the first thing that people do is say, "Oh, you're violating my Second Amendment rights." And no, you're not really violating Second Amendment rights, because it's not a federal building. And, the
Right.
Second Amendment applies to the federal government. It's a restriction on Congress. Congress can't mess with this stuff. They can't do anything. They can't create a law that would infringe upon your ability to carry, or to possess a firearm. But at the state level, you've got to go to state constitution, and each state has its own constitution. So you've got to go really to that. So when the libertarians here were looking at this sign and saying, "All right, what do we need to do?" They had to go to the state constitution, in this case for the state of Florida, and read what the state constitution said about the right to keep and bear arms. And then they had to act appropriately to that. Is that the case, John?
Yeah, so it's state statute 790. think, is what covers the concealed weapons carry, and so just in the sections under the concealed weapons law, that's where it spells out the places that it does not have effect, and it also spells out things like selling. So who can sell weapons, who can own, where they can possess, all of these things, and it's very explicit on the cities and the counties not being able to make more stringent laws than what the state has put forward, in an effort to protect the rights of Florida citizens to carry their own firearms.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very excited about that. The city says that they had just forgotten to take the signs down. Okay. How long they were going to forget is an interesting question to ponder. But it does show you the power of a letter, of a single letter, because that's really all it took.
And that letter requested, and if not mistaken, it was a soft letter, an informational kind of a thing, asking them to address it within 45 days.
Yeah, we didn't even ask them. We didn't even ask them to take the sign down. We just said bring it in compliance with state law. They chose to remove it, which is good because that's the best way to bring it into compliance. Just get rid of it. But we weren't. The language didn't. It wasn't anything about you've got to do it right now, or we're going to sue you. We're talking to our lawyers. It was just, hey, look, we noticed that you're not in compliance with state law. We're going to give you a generous amount of time, a month and a half, 45 calendar days, and if you disagree, let us know. But then we'll file an administrative ruling to get the state to look at it and say, yeah, no, actually, you are not in compliance. And rather than go to that level, rather than us, forcing our party to go and make that filing, they just removed the sign.
Well.
And it was really fast too. I mean, we sent the letter out on a Saturday. They got it, I think, on a Monday or Tuesday morning, and the story kind of broke on the Tuesday morning. The Sun Sentinel picked it up Tuesday afternoon and reported it at 2:43. I mean, she called me, and I gave her a call back. She typed it up, put it out there, and by 4:45 in the afternoon, they said they were taking it down, and it was even on the agenda. It was on their agenda for their city meeting that night, and I don't think it ever got up because it had already been addressed.
Hey, isn't that great? Right? You gotta love it when things come together.
So,
hey, I
it's
noticed
fantastic.
that,
and I just really, it shows the power of the people. If you don't like something the government is doing, do a little research, see if they actually are within the scope of the law. And just write a letter. Just even question it. You don't even have to, just question something and see the response you get. And if they don't respect you as an individual, then find allies. Find people who are of like mind. It could be your local political organization, like the Libertarian Party, or it could be a purpose-built organization like the Second Amendment Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
But find people who will work an issue for you. It could be the ACLU,